Did you in fact say that, quote, players should be on their knees thanking their lucky stars for the rights deal that I got them?
There's a lot of inaccuracy out there through social media and all this reporting. And so I think what's most helpful is to focus on, I have been in touch with Nafisa. We've exchanged texts. We're talking next week. So I think obviously a lot of reporting, a lot of inaccuracy about what I said or what I didn't say. And I will tell you, I highly respect the players. There's a lot of emotion and passion going on right now because we're in collective bargaining. We're in the WNBA finals. And so I'll leave it there. I mean, I'm just obviously disheartened. You know, I'm a human too. I have a family. I have 2 kids who are devastated by these comments. And so all I'll say is just, you know, it's obviously been a tough week. And I just think there's a lot of inaccuracy.
Guys, did you watch Cathy Englebert address the media and last night around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in Ohio, Central Ohio rather? Did you guys watch her comments and how she addressed the WNBA? And as one of the leaders or the figureheads, okay, she is the commissioner of the WNBA. She addressed Nafisa Collier's claims and statements against her, saying how, you know, back in February they had that one-on-one private meeting, and she said some unsavory things about Caitlin Clark, and she called, you know, all the WNBA players who are, you know, trying to criticize the refs. That only losers have something to say about the refs, etc., etc. Well, according to Cathy Englebert, she's saying that is not true. Okay, she low key is calling Nafisa Collier, aka Martin Luther Collier, a bold-faced lie. Because she said, "I did not say that. Maybe perhaps my words was misconstrued." But you know, she's like, you know, she pretty much just completely denied the remarks she made against Caitlin Clark, okay? But she did vow that, you know, the new CBA agreement would come to fruition. She made a lot of like statements, but it was like pretty much what she already had released publicly in that public statement, talking about how, you know, she has the utmost respect for Nafisa Collier, including all the women in the WNBA, etc., etc. And people, a lot of the people, both the WNBA players and fans of the WNBA, the main criticisms towards Cathy that they had, you know, despite all the lying and like, you know, the poor salaries, everybody is like making below like a teacher salary in the state of Indiana if you're a rookie, if you're on a rookie contract for Indiana Fever. And again, like this made me also, you know, give some pause and thought to this. It's like the criticism against Cathy Englebert that they share is, why hasn't she tried to develop a relationship, form a relationship with the players? This entire time, I thought that she kind of was like, you know, at least, if not like friends, again, like she's not going to be like best friends. She's low-key like their boss, right? She probably can't have too much of a close relationship. But to me, it was odd that like she does not like speak with them, pretty much. Is what the players are saying, like, you know, Paige Beckers, Caitlin Clark, she was like, she pretty much plays everybody in the league does. It's like she pretty much ignores everybody, okay? But again, when she had addressed the media late last night, she claimed that, you know, all this is, you know, bogus. It's not true. Nafisa Collier's statements against her are bold-faced lies. And again, guys, I just want to break down some excerpts, okay? Some things that she said in that media speech last night, brought to you by ESPN. It begins. The WNBA's commissioner, Cathy Englebert, says there were a lot of inaccuracies and comments attributed to her by Minnesota Lynx star Nafisa Collier, and vehemently denied, saying that Caitlin Clark and other standouts should be on their knees in gratitude because of the platform the league has given them. Yeah, that's another thing. She was like, I never said that anybody should be on their knees to give me or anybody else gratitude or praise. It's like, I don't know. If y'all ask me, I believe Nafisa Collier. It's like, why would she lie? Why would she say that? Why would she bring that up, you know? And she also continues to comment, I did not make those comments, Englebert said at her annual news conference ahead of Game 1 of the WNBA Finals on Friday. There is a lot of inaccuracy out there through social media and all of this reporting, Englebert added. I highly respect the players. There is a lot of emotion and passion going on right now between collective bargaining. I am obviously disheartened. Englebert also says that she has a meeting set with Collier next week, so it's gonna be round 2. It's another private meeting between Nafisa Collier and Cathy Englebert. Again, that'll be next week, and she acknowledges that there is room for her to grow her relationships with players. Obviously, she's like, you know what? Maybe I need to form a more intimate connection with these players of the WNBA. Players are at the center of everything we do, Englebert said. I was disheartened to hear that some players feel the league, and me personally, don't care about them or listen to them. If the players in the W don't feel appreciated and valued by the league, then we have to do better, and I have to do better. She continued, I feel confident that we can repair any loss of trust. I will do everything I can to change that. No one should ever doubt how deeply I care about this league, this game, and every single player who makes up what the WNBA is. When she was asked if she expects to be the commissioner beyond the current CBA negotiations amid calls for her resignation, Engelbert said, "I've never been a quitter, never shied away from tough situations." Engelbert said if there are specific issues the league office identifies and other problems players want to be addressed, she will do her best to address them. However, in a call Thursday, the Players Association informed players that the conversations with Engelbert, members of the league CBA committee, and league council have made no progress. Increased salaries and revenue sharing are among the biggest issues in these negotiations. On Friday, Engelbert said she shares the goal of higher pay for players, saying she wants to significantly increase their salary and benefits, and has made proposals with large revenue share components, but the key is striking a balance where players are getting the returns they want, while owners are still incentivized to invest and make money. The current CBA expires this October 31st. That's literally like, 28 days away. Today's what, the 4th? I think today's October 4th. That's 27 days away, okay? We got about 3 weeks for them to get it together. It says, after the Players Union opted out of the current agreement last year, Engelbert says she is hopeful that a new deal will be reached by then, but also acknowledged an extension might be needed. Engelbert said it is the goal of the league and players to avoid a lockout next season, but there are other key events on the WNBA calendar before next spring that cannot happen without a new CBA. For example, there cannot be an expansion draft, which is needed to build the rosters of the upcoming expansion teams, the Portland Fire and Toronto Temple, until a new agreement is settled. I don't know about y'all, but I do not like the fact that Portland, Oregon is going to get a team. I'm sorry to everybody who's from there. You love there. I love the Ducks. Go Ducks. But again, Portland, Oregon for a WNBA team. Where's the Houston Comets coming back? That's my question. And she quotes saying, "You want to make sure you're capitalizing on all this momentum that we've built up over the last 5 years or so that are really driving viewership into our game and fandom," Engelbert said. Engelbert said the WNBA is establishing a multi-stakeholder task force to address concerns over the league's officiating, which has been a major talking point for players and coaches this season. On the pending sale of the Connecticut Sun, Engelbert said the team's owners, the Mohegan Tribe, continue to evaluate its strategic options for whether it will continue as majority owners or minority investors or sell the entire franchise. So there you have it, folks, okay? Cathy Englebert, again, she's a very strong, intelligent, capable woman, very highly educated, okay? She worked for Deloitte for many, many years, was the first female CEO of McDonald's, first female CEO of other companies, right? And I believe including Deloitte. So she's very intelligent. She knows how to engage and speak with the public and, take on the media head on and be that strong woman. Again, she's very capable. But again, in my opinion, that whole media press that she had last night, it was just to kind of pacify players, okay? She said, you know what, me and, Nafisa Collier will be talking again. We're going to have another private meeting next week. I deeply care for all the women in the WNBA. I'm going to try my best to foster a more deep and meaningful relationship with all the players. Again, I believe that's a start, right? You need to, try to, learn them on a intimate, somewhat personable or personable level, as just being women, right? And, of course, she talked about how, the CBA deal. Okay, it's like they need to get on it. She said that possibly, again, that we still are pretty much in conflict. Okay, people are butting heads. Can't nobody come to an agreement on nothing. Everybody's still arguing and fighting over the new CBA agreements. But she's trying to fight for the players to increase their salaries, increase benefits. Again, guys, it's not just about the money, but health care, family planning, IVF, fertility treatments, etc., right? Paid maternity leave, etc. So it's a lot going on. She claims that she's trying to fight to give the players the best benefits, healthcare wise, but again, they still got to come into an agreement. So she's saying more than likely we're trying to, have an extension towards the CBA agreement, because obviously it's not going to happen this upcoming October 31st for the most part, right? She talked about the Connecticut Sun, the possible selling of it, and she claims that's we're gonna try to figure something out, but you can tell the WNBA wants to continue to self-sabotage, okay? It makes all the sense to me for Connecticut Sun to get sold, or at least just move, sell it or move, or just sell it. If you don't want to sell it, just move it to Boston, Massachusetts, become the little sister to the big bro being the Boston Celtics, name them, rebrand them Boston Charms or the Boston Clovers. Cute green and white jerseys, but no, don't nobody want to listen to Geneva, okay? And then again, of course, she also spoke a little bit about, the expansion teams, the Portland Fire, which again, I don't want to, Again, fine, right? And then the Toronto Tempo, meaning like we can't have expansion teams and drafts, etc., if we don't do something about the CBA deal. Okay, the CBA deal, that was a good topic to hit on, but pretty much from what I gathered from that media press last night is, again, it's a lot of infighting. We may have to just extend the deadline because can't nobody come to an agreement. So there you have it, folks. That's what Cathy Englebert said. She had a lot of, like, a pretty much a big nothing burger. She was just talking to pacify the players, pacify the press, pacify the media, pacify the WNBA fans. She spoke a little bit about the officiating, how, they're going to try to do better, and have the refs be trained to a certain way that, they see the physicality, they call it out so that the players' safety, health, and injuries, can be prevented and like be, on the paramount of priorities for the WNBA players. But again, Cathy, again, like she said what she said. She's like, I'm tough, I'm strong. I ain't resigning, pretty much. Again, I thought she was going to announce resignation. She did not. Okay, womp, womp, womp. If everybody out there was probably, possibly perhaps waiting for her to say it, she said what she said. She said, girl, I ain't going nowhere. I got a good job. This is a good thing for me. I'm not backing down. Even though so many WNBA players have called her out. Kelsey Plum, Asia Wilson, Nafisa Collier. Asia Wilson said she's disgusted. She was disgusted by what Cathy Englebert had to say, towards to Nafisa Collier in that one-on-one private meeting. She claimed that she ain't never said nothing about Caitlin Clark. So, again, like, it was a lot of denial and pacifying, but it is what it is. But again, guys, comment down below your thoughts on Cathy Englebert having to publicly address the WNBA and the media last night. What did you take away from the comments? Again, at one point I just stopped listening because I'm like, she just, regurgitating, like, I don't want to say social media answers. She's media trained. She knows what to say to pacify the public. But again, guys, that's just how I interpreted the little press media interview she gave last night. But tell me in the comments below what you think about Cathy Englebert and what we see change. Will we come to an agreement for the CBA? Comment down below.